this simple clove oil. Could this be part of why my grandma is still moving steadily at 97? As she grows older, like many people her age, she has faced the quiet fears of joint pain. But since she began using this special homemade oil, her discomfort gradually softened, almost like something gentle had changed. After her slow evening walk with her little dog by her side, she comes into the kitchen and prepares this oil with cloves, garlic, and olive oil. The method is very simple, affordable, and something anyone can do at home. Let's see how my grandma makes it. Before we begin, may God bless you and your family. Let's get started. I've seen how that fear feels up close. My grandma used to have days when her joints ached, her body felt cold, and sleep just wouldn't come easy. Mornings were the hardest. Stiff knees, heavy steps, and that quiet worry about needing more treatment, more hospital visits, and slowly losing strength. But little by little, she found a joint care recipe that worked surprisingly well for her, made from just a few simple ingredients in the kitchen. Nothing complicated, nothing extreme, just a gentle, practical habit she could do at home to help her body feel more comfortable over time. She uses only 2 tablespoons of cloves, no more than that. She scoops them gently and puts them into the grinder, saying it's just enough to warm the joints without overheating the body. She believes that with anything, a small amount used consistently is far better than using too much all at once. For her, cloves were never some grand cure, just a small, simple thing she could do at home. A little warmth for the joints, a bit of comfort in the body. She puts the cloves into the grinder without rushing, without using high power. She says to grind slowly so the cloves become evenly fine. Just moments after grinding, the aroma becomes very clear, warm, spreading through the kitchen. She says this is the kind of scent that makes joints feel more comfortable and the body feel lighter. Even before using it, just smelling it already feels warming. The scent of freshly ground cloves is truly strong, warm, spreading quickly, with a slight sharpness in the nose. I remember the first time I ever held cloves in my hand. Something so small, yet the scent was surprisingly powerful. My grandma just smiled and said, "The smaller things often carry the most strength." Before putting the powder inside, she always sterilizes the glass jar very carefully. She says that keeping even the smallest things clean helps the body feel lighter and fight less. We may not always be able to do big things for our health, but doing small things properly every day is already a way of caring for the body. While peeling each clove of garlic, I remember a story my grandma once told me. She said that in old age, no one can avoid joint weakness. Some people experience it lightly, others more severely. My grandfather was one of the severe cases. His joints hurt badly, walking became difficult, and his body grew weaker day by day. Eventually, the family had no choice but to take him to the hospital, even though he truly disliked staying there. And staying for a long time meant high costs. Back then, the family struggled financially. He feared long hospital stays, mounting expenses, and becoming a burden to his children. Some nights he couldn't sleep, not because of joint pain, but because of worry. My grandma watched him quietly. She didn't say much, but after he was hospitalized, she went home and began researching. She asked acquaintances, talked to older people, and revisited old kitchen habits. She believed that although aging couldn't be avoided, the body could still be made to hurt less and rely less on others. That's when she began paying attention to very small things, like cloves and garlic, Garlic that has started to sprout is not toxic. It's still safe to use, but when you see that small green shoot inside, the flavor becomes more bitter and sharp. Since I'm using this garlic for a joint oil, it's better to remove the green core to keep the oil quality. After finely chopping the garlic, she puts it into the glass jar. And the final essential ingredient is olive oil. She chooses olive oil to combine with cloves and garlic because it is gentle. It doesn't create harsh heat, but it holds the warm scent of cloves and garlic for a long time. When applied to the joints, it softens the skin, allows the hands to glide smoothly, and lets the warmth sink in slowly but deeply. She says that with oil, the warmth stays longer and the joints feel more comfortable. As she pours the olive oil over the cloves and garlic, I remember more of her story. After my grandfather's joint pain worsened, she continued researching quietly. She heard from older people that cloves contain something that helps warm the joints and reduce discomfort. Not a cure, but something that makes pain more bearable. She began soaking cloves and garlic in oil. At first, she made it for my grandfather. Every evening, she gently rubbed it onto his joints and wrapped them warmly. Then she realized something. She herself was aging too. She said you shouldn't wait until pain arrives to start caring. When the body still moves, still functions, that's when it should be protected. So she made this oil not only for him, but for herself as well. She believed that keeping joints warm a little every day could prevent greater pain and dependence later on. To her, caring early is always gentler than trying to fix things too late. When heating the mixture using a double boiler, she always places a towel underneath first. She says it's not for appearance. Once, she heated it without the towel, letting the jar touch the pot directly. As the water boiled, the jar vibrated, heat became uneven, and some batches turned too sharp while others lost their gentleness. From that experience, she learned, the towel keeps the jar stable and allows heat to rise slowly and evenly. She says this way, the oil keeps a balanced warmth and avoids sudden temperature shock. Caring for the body is the same. Slower, consistent care works far better. She heats the mixture for exactly 30 minutes. No more, no less. She says that's enough time for the oil to gently draw out the scent of cloves and garlic, without harshness, without rushing. In the past, she rushed the process, but the oil lost its softness and felt less comfortable on the joints. She believes anything meant for the body should be done slowly. And before turning off the stove, she quietly prays, "May God protect our family with health and strength for the years ahead." After heating, she doesn't rush. She lets the oil cool completely outside for nearly an hour. Once cooled, she strains it through a sieve, adds a thin cloth, and gently squeezes the oil out evenly. She often says, "Don't rush this step." The last oil that flows out is the gentlest part. Watching her, I remember her words. In life, some things require waiting and patience to receive the best part. The smell of this oil is so warm and rich with clove. The moment the aroma rises, it takes me straight back to childhood. I remember sitting in my grandma's kitchen on cold evenings, the air filled with that same comforting scent, while she gently warmed oil on the stove. How are you feeling today? Are your joints comfortable, or has your body been feeling a little stiff lately? I truly hope you're staying warm, moving gently, and taking small moments of care for yourself each day. And tell me, where are you watching from? I love knowing where our Tom's Tips family is around the world. Wishing you steady steps, peaceful sleep, and good health ahead. After straining, she seals the jar tightly and places it in a dark, cool corner of the kitchen. She leaves it there for exactly 10 days. She doesn't open it, doesn't shake it. She says this step cannot be rushed. The cloves and garlic must slowly infuse into the oil for it to become gentle and deep. Rushing only ruins the aroma. Some evenings after applying the oil, my grandfather would sigh and say, "It doesn't make the pain disappear, but it feels a little better." For my grandma, that was enough. She said old age doesn't seek to be pain-free. It only hopes that each day feels slightly better than the last. Then she began using it herself. She didn't suffer joint pain as badly as my grandfather, but she said using the oil regularly made her body feel lighter, her joints softer, and movements easier. Some mornings she walked faster, smiled at me, and said, "Maybe it's because I've been applying the oil lately." She believes caring for joints is like caring for soil. Time must do its work. No one can afford seeds to sprout overnight. And the human body is the same. With patience and consistency, one day you may realize you're more flexible than you ever expected. After 10 days, she takes the jar out. She applies a thin layer to her joints and areas with varicose veins. Not much, just enough to let the hands glide. She massages slowly, about 5 minutes per joint. She says rubbing too fast only heats the skin, but slow massage allows warmth to sink deeper. During the massage, the feeling is truly comfortable. At first it feels cool, then gradually warm. In joints that have been painful for a long time, she says it feels like warmth slowly spreading, not burning, just soothing. She never expects instant relief. As long as her joints feel calmer and her body lighter after each massage, she can sleep peacefully. She wraps the area with plastic wrap to keep the oil from evaporating and to retain warmth longer. Wrapped this way, the oil absorbs slowly and evenly without drying too fast. She says just a little extra warmth already helps the joints feel better. After that, she wraps a thick towel on top to keep the warmth in. She usually does this around 8 in the evening or right before bed. She keeps it wrapped all night so the warmth can slowly penetrate. She says doing this consistently helps the joints feel better and improve sleep. The next morning, she removes the towel and wraps slowly. The joints aren't suddenly light, but they're less stiff. She says standing up feels a bit easier. Walking feels less heavy. In old age, simply having less stiffness in the morning already makes the day feel lighter. She also reminds us to use it properly. Apply only a thin layer, massage gently, never rub hard. Sensitive skin should be tested first. Anyone with open wounds, inflamed skin, or burning sensations should avoid it. And if joint pain is severe, swollen, or persistent, one must see a doctor. She says kitchen habits can sometimes ease discomfort, but there are times when the body truly needs medical care. Don't endure pain silently. Since doing this regularly, my grandfather felt some relief. Not cured, but less grimacing each morning. And my grandma, though not as severely affected, felt more flexible and mobile. She believes the greatest fear of old age isn't pain itself, but slowly losing the ability to care for oneself. That's why she cares for her joints while she still can, gently, every evening. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. You can find more simple recipes in the playlist here. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.